Hey fellow gun nuts, James here. Hey, been a while since I made a video and I decided to do a little update on some of the stuff I was playing around with. This is my old Mosin M44 and a long time ago I made it into a kind of like a scout rifle. Put a scout scope on it. Long eye relief scope, it's 2-to-7 power. Anyway, it originally came with the straight bolt handle, and it works fine with the scout scope setup, but I always wanted to play around with making a longer handle for it, and I finally did, and it was relatively easy. I bought a piece of 5/16 stainless steel off of Amazon, and all it really took was a vise and my propane tank and a Dremel tool with a cutoff wheel. I cut the ball off of the original straight handle, and I put a piece of this rod in my vise, heated it with a propane torch, took a piece of pipe stuck on there and kind of bent her over once this turned red, and it was nothing to make it. I decided to try the old JB weld, and that's all it is right now. Is I drilled a 5/16 hole in here about 3/8 of an inch deep and put the handle in there, and I just, I had the intention of drilling another hole here and putting a steel pin in it, but after it dried, I tried it several times, and I don't know, I'm going to see how long the JB weld will hold it. If it does decide to loosen up, I'll probably go ahead and drill a hole and put a steel pin in it, but I'm really surprised. I mean, I've jacked this thing pretty good, and the JB seems to hold pretty good. I took the Dremel tool and the section that goes in here, I kind of notched it, put little grooves in there so that the JB weld had something to bite into. And I'm really surprised. It's just JB welded on there, and it's doing its thing. So anyway, I just wanted to show that how easy it is just to JB weld it. I mean, if it ever does come loose, I'll give an update on it, but I think what I'm going to do for right now is just leave the JB weld there and see how long it's going to be before I need to, if it ever does come out, see how long it's going to be before I have to put a pin in there. But it's working pretty good. I'm pretty impressed with it. Another thing I did was I put a spring kit in here because the trigger would always had a little bit of flap in it. So I went on eBay and I bought one of those spring kits to put in it that snugs up the trigger, and I put the spacer that comes with it in there. And I tried it out the other day, and let me see if you can see it, but it's a 3-pound trigger on it now. Originally I worked down the sear, or I smoothed it up a little bit, and it was a 4-pound trigger, and I shot really good groups with it. But since I put the spring kit in there and that spacer shim, I checked it with my trigger pull gauge, and nice crisp 3-pound trigger now. So a little rundown of everything I've done to it. I put the scope on it, did the bolt thing to it, the sniper style bolt, and smoothed up the trigger and the sear, then put the spring kit and the spacer kit in it. I also use JB Weld to bed the action. I put JB Weld back here where the action sits and up in here. And I also bedded the action. I can run a piece of paper all the way across back to this point between the stock and the barrel, and the upper piece of wood there, it wasn't touching any at all anyway. But it's been a nice fun project gun, and I really enjoy shooting it. And with cast bullets, this thing does shoot. I'm really amazed. It's a 1948 rifle, and it still shoots really, really good. I made a video a long time ago about it when I was doing load development on the cast bullets for it. I shoot the Lee 155 grain 312 155 cast bullet in it, and with several different powders, it was grouping really, really good. But I think I'm to the point now, about the only thing I can do to modify it anymore is put a different stock on it. But I kind of like this old wood stock. Kind of gives it the old classic look. So I guess I'm about done with it. I have to find a different rifle to play with. And seeing as how everything's getting so expensive for this stuff, I bought some spare parts for it too. I mean, this stuff is going up crazy high on eBay. So I bought, sometimes these have been known to crack, like if you get a steel case stuck in there or something. So I bought that, the firing pin spring, a new cocking device, new bolt head with the extractor. I paid $50 for this stuff, but I've got another Mosin. I figure if the firing pin or any one of these pieces ever break, I've got a spare part for it. And I'd advise anybody else out there who has Mosin, with the way the prices are going up, get some spare parts while you can. I mean, the things are built like tanks, but if you do need a part, it's nice to have them on hand. So anyway, that's about all I got. Thanks for watching.